Christina, I want you to live with Steve as his wife. Both were stunned. Christina exclaimed, "Are you out of your mind? I could never think of marrying him, even in my wildest dreams." Steve got aggressive and interrupted. "What do you think of yourself? Are you even in your senses? You have just rejected the Steve Wilson." Christina said softly, "I don't think you also agree with Olivia's proposal. So, you should stick to my opinion." "Oh, please. Stop this bullshit," Steve stated. "Excuse me." Christina raised her eyebrows. Steve ignored her and tried to convince Olivia. "Look, Olivia, I don't think it's a good idea. I met her 5 minutes ago and we have had a running battle since then. Moreover, I don't think she can pull it off. Do you still want us to accept your offer?" Okay. Let me explain my proposal first. Then you decide," Olivia said calmly. "So, Christina, you don't have to marry him for real, but have to play the role of his fiancée. It should be a secret between the 3 of us. Consider it as your debut. Yeah, I know that you have always dreamt of being an actor, and you can continue your passion besides your job. You'll be getting extra compensation for the same. You just have to behave like a sweet couple in public." Steve said straight away, "I don't think it's ever gonna work." Christina agreed. "He is right, and we haven't done anything wrong that we have to compensate for. You know, I can't stake my actor's image, and if we didn't do anything today, the media will cause a hell of trouble. And my dear, you could also suffer, and I am sure you don't want that," Olivia answered. "Could we please find another way out?" Steve questioned. "If you could tell me something better than this." "Go on," Olivia said. Steve and Christina gave it a thought but couldn't come up with something. "Time's up. I think we should work on my idea. This would be a temporary setup. After a few months, you can call it quits." "And we will spread the news that things didn't work out and you called off your marriage." Olivia elaborated the plan. Steve stood up in denial. "I still don't agree with this." Christina also indicated her consent and said, "A relationship could never be an agreement. It has to be mutual, and my father would be disappointed to know that I have decided to marry someone without his permission. I'm sorry, but I can't let him down," and walked away to the door. "It's fine that you don't want to be a part of this, but would you be able to answer the media, or convince the hospital management that they've misunderstood you?" Olivia questioned. Christina stood still at the door. She was frozen. "If you walk out of this, then we would be operating legally into this matter, and you'll have to release a statement saying you're responsible for this, post which you might be terminated from your job. And you would be liable to pay compensation for tarnishing my client's image in public. How about if we accuse you of doing it all purposely?" Olivia warned. "I am already suspended, and would not be able to face the media alone. Nor could I tolerate the false accusations. They know my whereabouts and would go to any extent. She thought and turned around. Her face had turned pale. Amidst all the negatives, pros, and cons, she decided to sign the document. Tell me where to sign, she inquired irritatedly. Olivia smiled and gave her the agreement. Christina signed the paperwork, didn't share a glance at any of them, and set off. Steve was amazed as to how she agreed to the contract. As soon as Christina entered the living room, Anna embraced her. Where were you? I called you like 100 times, but you didn't even bother, Christina said. Anna, I am sorry, but I don't want to talk to anyone. At least eat something before bed, Anna said. Christina replied, I don't want to, and walked into her room. Later, Anna gave her a glass of hot chocolate and told her to finish it off. Christina denied it at first but gobbled it down when insisted. It was soothing. She closed her eyes and tried to sleep, but she was only turning sides. You just have to pretend to be Steve's fiancé. You have to behave like a couple in public. Sign the contract or else get ready to face the consequences. These words were echoing in her mind. I swear. Christina forced herself to close her eyes and struggled hard to fall asleep. Someone's at the door. The doorbell continuously rang. Christina woke up, walked to the door with half-opened eyes, and found a dozen reporters outside her flat. All of them bombarded her with a series of questions. How did you meet Steve Wilson? Is it a serious relationship or you're just another fling? Have you trapped him for the sake of fame or you love him for real? You have charmed the superstar, Steve Wilson. Such a gold digger. No, Christina screamed. Her forehead was doused with sweat, her eyes filled with tears of anxiety, and her heartbeat extremely raised. I am not a gold digger, she screamed and woke up. It was just a very bad dream. The next morning, Christina was in the living room and was eating chocolates. She had a habit of overeating whenever she got upset or something troubled her. She was on the sofa with a few wrappers of chocolate crumbled and thrown on the floor. She was wondering about the dream she had last night when a voice breached into her thoughts. Good morning, Chrissy. Anna walked into the living room and was surprised to see her like that. You owe me an answer now. What is bothering you so much? I know your habit of overeating when you're stressed. You're behaving weird for 2-3 days. Tell me, what is it? Out of all the people at the hospital, why did this happen to me? She blurted. I would die of curiosity now. I went to your hospital also and met Dr. Albert. He told me about your suspension, and then I passed by your favorite spot also, but you were not there. Would you please tell me what happened? Anna yelled at her. Christina made her sit beside her and said, I'll tell you, but you promise me you won't overreact. Anna agreed. Anna, I met Steve Wilson yesterday and they wanted me to sign a contract. What contract? She inquired. A contract according to which they will declare that I am Steve Wilson's fiancée, Christina answered nervously. Anna was shocked. What did you just say? She exclaimed. Wow, Chrissy, that's beautiful. You and Steve would make a perfect pair, and once you are engaged, I would get to meet him regularly. She winked. My Instagram profile would be enlightened by his presence in it. Wow, Chrissy, what good news. Anna swirled round in excitement. Christina stopped her. I would be Steve's fake fiancé. There would be nothing real between us, she clarified. Anna was numb. Anna, It's a secret, and nobody knows about it. Steve's pure agency has signed a deal with me to put an end to this scandal. They even have my details, like I don't prefer sugar in my coffee and much more. They threatened me of false accusations and legal action. She sobbed. It's a matter of a few months, then it will be called off, she added. A legal action against you would be a huge drawback for your career. I can understand what made you sign this agreement, Anna said, comforting her sister. Suddenly, Christina remembered something and instantly asked, "Does Dad know about this?" Yes, he saw the photograph that went viral. At first, he didn't believe it, but then he had to. He was very disappointed but said nothing on the phone. "You know, he never vents out his anger on us. He said he would come here and then talk to you about this," Anna stated. "Please don't tell anybody about this agreement that I have signed," Christina requested. "Oh, you can always count on me." Christina smiled. "You go and take shower. I'll make your favorite breakfast," she added. After 15 minutes, when Christina returned, she saw pancakes and 2 cups of coffee at the dining table. "You're so sweet, my dear sister," Christina thanked her. Anna replied, "Anything for you, Chrissy." As they both sat at the table for breakfast and took their first bite, the doorbell rang. Anna stood up and went to open the door. She found 2 muscular men, dressed in a bodyguard's uniform with black glares. She was surprised to see them at the door. Her eyes widened in amazement. Who were these men and why were they at Christina's house? Was this an advent for a new twist?